A8 is Audi's flagship model in the executive saloon market. Comparatively, it's quite new to this sector, so it doesn't have the pedigree of the Mercedes S-Class or the history of the Jaguar XJ. But if you start scanning the pages of OK and Hello magazine, you'll spot a bit of a theme, whereby most of the celebrities love to rock up to the red carpet in the back of one of these. Like most Audis, the A8 is relatively low-key and stylish, with much more emphasis on subtly sculpted surfaces than any sharp edges, but the result is a timeless design that's able to play a secondary role to the precious cargo in transit. Everything starts from this trademark and dominant trapezoidal chromed grille with the cut-off corners, plus the company's now signature daytime running LED unit. But what Audi calls a tornado line also starts from this front quarter and runs the entire length of this car's vast aluminium body, echoing the flat window line to break up the visual weight and give the car more tension. But it's inside where the A8 really stands out, reinforcing Audi's reputation for quality and ergonomics. This is one of the best looking interiors on sale, with a lush mix of high quality materials that is infinitely customizable, including the colour of this roof lining. Up front, the driver gets this very strong wraparound graphic, but all the controls remain clearly delineated and incredibly tactile. There is such an attention to detail in here. For example, this gear selector has also been designed as a wrist rest for operating all these lower section controls, and even the indicator stalk has been finished in the same gloss black as the dash. Like all luxury barges, gadgets are important, and this car has plenty. You start with Audi's MMI interface that controls everything from your satellite navigation, to your phone, to your music hard drive, and it's all controlled through these rotating dials and this lovely little touchpad interface. But then you've also got massaging seats, Audi Pre-Sense that can detect an imminent crash, night vision, and a Bang & Olufsen stereo. Make sure you don't get too carried away with the options, mind, as the price list can get pretty terrifying. The only negative for drivers is this high set rear window, which makes reversing completely reliant on the rear parking camera. The A8's interior is as much about the people in the back as those in the front, and if you value your customer relations, then this long wheelbase version is the one to go for, as the additional 130mm in length, plus the 11mm difference in height, turns this space from economy to business class. Again, the seats can be electrically controlled, heated and cooled, plus all the other functions are operated through this pull-down central armrest. As for the boot, it's one of the few disappointing aspects really, with less space than both the Mercedes S-Class and Jaguar XJ, so let's hope your passengers travel light. The A8 is effortless to drive. This best-selling 3-litre TDI diesel is coupled to an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and it's very smooth, and yet it's still able to hustle 5.2 metres of limo to 62 miles an hour in 6.1 seconds. The signature Quattro drivetrain offers all-weather security, and you can even adjust the suspension through the MMI interface, depending on whether you've got VIPs in the back or you're driving solo. It's not the most involving car to drive quickly, because the nose can feel a little bit heavy and the steering is a bit numb, but there's masses of grip. On smooth roads, it feels incredibly refined back here thanks to the double glazing and that comfort driver setting, though it still isn't as cosseting as a Mercedes S-Class. What's more, the ride quality on British B roads is much more dependent on your wheel and tyre choice. 21-inch rims may look good, but they're hardly going to make the people back here start smiling. The Audi A8 is a massively underrated executive saloon. Not your default choice, admittedly, but it's uber stylish, dripping with technical talent, and is beautifully well made. Yes, the options are expensive, and you will probably need to spec the long wheelbase version if you're planning on carrying executives. But in terms of making a good first impression, this knows how to tick the boxes.